years ago, I did a review on a brand new Transformer character, Strongarm, from the Transformers Robots in Disguise line. And I've been slowly collecting and chronicling the different toys of this figure, and now a new evolution and a new play style of the Transformers Robots in Disguise line has finally come out. And so I figured I'd do a review of that one because it's kind of interesting and cool. So this is the Transformers Robots in Disguise Combiner Force, Strongarm, and Optimus Prime, also known as Primestrong when combined. This is part of the Crash Combiners gimmick play. So this is Protoman, this is Protoretro, and let's do this.
Protoretro.
So like I said, back in early 2015, 2 years ago, I reviewed Strongarm, and she was this new kid on the block, this new character that was being introduced in the Transformers Robots in Disguise line. And the line's still around, show's still kicking, it's still doing very well, and now they're into a new play gimmick, a new subline, and we have the Combiner Force line. So, this is the Transformers Robots in Disguise Combiner Force Crash Combiners Strongarm and Optimus Prime. And I want to talk about it just because it's an interesting new play pattern and has some cool paint applications, and it's another iteration of this new character. So I figured I'd get an excuse to revisit this character again, as many chances as I can get an excuse to. So let's crack it open and check out the toy and see what's happening with this cool figure. So starting as packaged in alt mode, you have Strongarm and Optimus Prime sporting a not bad interpretation of how they look in the show. Obviously the sacrifice for the alt modes to keep this spring-loaded gimmick and everything. Strongarm does a pretty good job of keeping how she looks in the show. Optimus Prime, obviously, you could see, has to do a lot more sacrifices in order to do that. But pretty cool that, you know, the effort was there. They roll. They don't do much else aside from that. Scale-wise, here's Strongarm, her Legends toy, or her Legion class, as some of them like to be known. So it's slightly larger than those, to give you an idea of scale, but clearly a lot smaller than, say, a Deluxe or the One Steps. So these guys also, which is interesting, is they're not only just a combiner straight up piece, they also have their own individual robot modes, be it very simplistic, but nonetheless it's still cool that they're able to do that, which is pretty much you just flip down this chest piece and then you pull out these arms here, and that's really it. It's simple, but at least it exists, where, you know, they could have obviously omitted it to keep the gimmick and have something that's just two straight up alt modes that combine into a giant robot, but it's nice that they at least keep that in there. There it is next to, again, a Legends scale Strongarm, and again, slightly larger than a Legends, but considerably smaller, noticeably smaller than, say, a Deluxe. Let's do the same for Optimus. You just put down the chest, flip this up, arms out, although his arms go way out if needed. Look at that. But otherwise, the same. And being true to fiction, since Optimus Prime is the leader, and also probably because he makes the top torso a lot larger and taller than Strongarm. Again, comparison shot here. Let's even bring in an Optimus, which also, even in the Legends case, is much larger than the original. Yeah, so let's put these back into alt mode, which is very quick to do, and then we're going to have the Crash Combiner gimmick. Now all that is it's two pegs here on the side that when they go together, it activates the combining. What I should mention beforehand is there's actually a unmentioned gimmick. They both have 3mm peg holes on the top, so you can put 3mm weapons, mini-cons, weaponizer mini-cons, or whatever. But otherwise, that's it that's going on in this alt mode. So combiner gimmick, they crash together, so let's do that. and it causes the transformation. Now in this case, obviously there's still a little more that has to happen here, where it's just you spread the legs a little bit and flip down the feet. And then you got what is called Primestrong, or I don't know, I think maybe Strong Prime would have went better, but this is Primestrong. Now, Primestrong, you clearly see now why there was sacrifices for the alt modes and the robot modes for the individual robots, because this combined mode actually has articulation here, so it can hold a weapon. Doesn't come with one, but it can hold, again, 3mm peg weapons, gun stuff, which is pretty much common with most of the Transformers today. So we're going to steal Strongarm's weapon right here, and you can see goes with it. Now, as you can see also, it's slightly larger than a deluxe. So for the price point that this is, which is more or less a deluxe price point, don't be discouraged by the size of the card back, because the card back itself, when presented with it, is clearly a lot smaller than the card backs of the standard deluxes that we're used to. But because of the gimmick and the fact that it's 2 individual figures and all of that, leads to something that's slightly larger than the deluxe class figure. Articulation is obviously a lot less than that, but there's different engineering cues that lead to it. What's cool about it also is I dig a lot how the combined robot head, and they even show it a little bit with the art too here, is very reminiscent of the old G1, late G1 Japanese line Battle Stars, which had Star Convoy in it. It's a very Star Convoy Optimus Prime looking kind of face, head, and crest. So I really dig that a lot, that they kind of went with that gimmick. And also, let's go check out what the scan gives us this time around. Crash Combiner Primestrong unlocked. So the Transformers Robots in Disguise app unlocks a Primestrong character for your game, which is pretty cool. So another extra play value added there. I really, really, really recommend this figure, at least if you're going to get the one of the two. The other one in the cross promotion at the time being the B side, which is the Bumblebee and the Sideswipe. I feel this is the stronger one of the two and the much nicer one looking of the two. Add to that, not Operation Combination, but Battle Stars kind of aesthetic with Star Convoy. Really has a lot going for it. Just a really good looking figure and just a cool kind of gimmick. What more can really be said? Check it out. Really cool. Worth the price of admission, about that of a deluxe. Some places it's even slightly less than your standard deluxe. So totally worth it. Transformers Robots in Disguise, Primestrong, the Crash Combiners, Combiner Force, Strongarm, and Optimus Prime. So this is Protoman of Protoretro, and if to all those who enjoyed it, take care, and as always, roll out. Hey guys, like what you saw? Want to see more? Then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe this video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like the Facebook group for all the latest updates from Protoman of Protoretro.